The late adopter. Hi guys, how you doing? Hope you slept well. Hope? No. No hope. No hope, guys. Maybe slight hope, but no hope. We are not doing that well. I'm still on the bearish side towards downside. If something changes, if the metrics changes, I will become bullish, but right now there is no need to become bullish. Even this move above the 39.8 thousand right up here, this green candle towards upside above the resistance is not bullish enough, guys. It's not bullish enough. So in this video I'm gonna explain to you what's been happening lately, why am I bullish. We can also see how right now the bleeding has started towards the downside. I'm gonna explain to you a little bit, but first of all I want to talk about some kind of misconception on the chart that people are having. So we're gonna start right now by talking about this trend line down here. Just to say a quick word about that. There is a trend line up here, and whether this is a triangle or whatever, it really doesn't matter. There is a trend line up here. On the break of the trend line, people are saying that this over here is a pullback, is a retest on the line, and right now we are going to go towards the upside. I do not think this is a retest. Retest often comes on a small time frame, some kind of smaller moves down here, retest this line and then continues towards the upside to test this line. This over here on the small time frame didn't even get retested, it just blew towards the upside. Big impulsive move towards the resistance. There was no way we're gonna break this on impulsive move. I mean, you have no support whatsoever with anything to actually break this towards upside, so move towards downside was needed. Now the move on the downside that came down here, failed to hold the 10-20 moving average, bearish engulfing candle below the support. Right now, yesterday we had a small hopium move towards upside. Unfortunately, we did not break even the 10 moving average. We get up, we managed to get above, a little bit above 29.8, but this was a bearish engulfing candle towards downside, and this small bullish move, it's not doing anything. So right now you can see here we are going again towards downside. There is another level down here. If you break that level, that's around 29,685 or something like that, give or take. Yeah, 29.7. If we break that, we are gonna get a secondary bearish engulfing candle, just like over here, which is actually very bad and does tell us that we are more bearish than bullish. But first of all, oftentimes these breakouts, this is not a retest of any kind. I know people are looking for that, for some kind of hopium, but there is no hopium, guys. No hopium. No hopium there. It might be something else, but it's not a retest, guys. It's not a retest. Now this line is, this line maybe goes something like this up here. Where is there we go, something like this, because you can see here we touched that line, and we got some kind of support levels down here at 29,028.7. So you can see right now that this trend line up here, if we start going down here, we might break it around those bottom levels down here as well, which will increase the bearishness towards downside, and we might get this big drop, towards the bottom down here at between 22,000-25,000 eventually. But I'm still looking towards downside. Nothing has changed on that. Let's go into small time frame to see what's been happening up here. We're gonna zoom in a little bit up here. We're gonna actually go to the 1 hourly time frame because it's easier to show. Now we're gonna go to the 4 hourly time frame. It's gonna go to show what's actually happening. So there is some kind of a thing going on over here. It might be some kind of falling wedge. Now people are joining this falling wedge, something like this up here, especially if you look at it on the 1 hourly time frame. It hits very nice these stops up here, this stop up here, up here, managed to break out. But what I tried to explain yesterday in the stream is that this move up here has no reaction. So we managed to break certain important resistance level, a trend line, and there is no reaction on that. This just kind of goes sideways. So this tells me that this line up here is either not important, or we are very much still very much bearish. So maybe, just maybe, there is something like this on the downside down here that we have going for us, because this trend line up here got broken without any effect whatsoever. So it just tells me that it must be something else that we are looking at that we are not seeing. Maybe something up here at the top, over here, something like this, maybe even down there from the bottom. Well, you only want to hit some kind of lines, right? But definitely it's not this line from top, something like this over here. So that's not, that's there is no hopium in that. There is no hopium in that. Let me just move the line a little bit up here. If this wants to work with me, there we go. Now what I'm going to show you up here is that this move towards the upside is very steep, but this move towards the upside is not so steep. And the third move, after we drop towards downside, it won't be steep at all, and we just continue dumping on the downside. So I'm going to draw some kind of trend lines up here so you can see that. So you can see we have been going inside this rising wedge up here towards the upside, but you can see how steeply this was going towards the upside. Now look at this bottom line down here. It's something like this up here, which we are breaking right now. It's not so steep. So this line and this line, you can see that the momentum is actually shifting towards downside, towards downside. So if we do drop down here to something like 29,000, I'm looking at right now 29,000. You know, the next move down here, you know, it won't be having this steep line towards the upside. It will be, you know, either horizontal line or even, you know, a little bit, you know, screwed towards downside, because the momentum is changing. The momentum is changing towards downside. You know, we are failing to push the price that steep towards the upside. You know, and right now on this next move towards downside, I think that I come very sideways motion and then drop, or you know, a little bit more towards downside and then drop as well. How this is gonna play out, I'm not sure, but what I do know is that we are in no shape or form bullish in any kind of way right now. So on this move down here, now that we have broken this, you know, this might also, you know, you might use these bottoms down here as well. So it looks like, you know, we are not actually breaking it, but you know, the first lines of defense did actually break. It was maybe something like this up here, something like this up here. So the first line of defense did break. So right now we are coming to the secondary, you know, trend line. It's still a trend line down here because we are hitting levels, but you know, it is getting definitely pushed down over here. So I'm looking right now this 29 level down here to actually hit that and, you know, get some kind of support there and maybe go kind of sideways, and then we see how that actually plays after that. But you'll see, you know, the longer we come down and the more bearishness we increase, you know, we're coming down to these bottoms down here around 29,000. And once these bottoms, you know, fail, that's when we are going to get a big move towards downside. Right now it's just slow bleed, you know, slow trying to put, you know, bears are trying to push the price down slowly, you know, break the support levels, because there is definitely no bullishness in the chart whatsoever. There is one more thing I want to mention, is that bullish divergence, because people are trying to get any kind of hopium they can get. Mladen in the Telegram chat actually, you know, notes me. I did not see this, but you know, it's a very slight bullish divergence on the chart. So what you're gonna see here is that the price down here is going towards downside, while the RSI up here is slightly, ever so slightly going towards the upside. That's a bullish divergence, and we had this, you know, move towards the upside based on that, but right now we're continuing towards the downside. One thing I can tell you about the divergence and stuff like that, for divergence to be confirmed, you have to have, if this is a red candle, you have to have at least 2 green candles or a big green candle towards the upside to actually be finished with this divergence up here. So I won't call this divergence, because this, you know, we only had 1 green candle and we are right now continuing towards downside. So the way I'm actually reading this over here is not actually from here to here, but from here to here, and over here there is, you know, almost no divergence. Let me see up here. There is technically still a very slight divergence, but if it falls just a little bit more down, there will be no divergence whatsoever. And this can actually continue dumping on the downside, you know, to avoid divergence. So it was some kind of hopium, you know, there, but you know, it's very slight. So what you're gonna notice is that bearish moves are very strong. These are strong bearish moves towards downside, and if we get engulfing candle up here, it's going to be strong bearish move towards downside. This is a bearish engulfing candle up here, very strong move towards downside. This is a bearish engulfing candle up here, it's a strong move towards downside. But what you're going to see, even this move towards upside, it started going towards upside, slowly climbing up. It was a very big move, but there are no bullish engulfing candles on anywhere on this chart. So bearish engulfing candles definitely there. Every time we try to do something big, you know, it pulls us big time towards upside over here as well. Even this big move right back up, it wasn't bullish engulfing candle, it was just a candle towards the upside. But you know, bearish moves are strong. Bullish moves like this one, like the divergence and so forth, they're kind of weak. So you can see up here we had a big move, you know, very strong move, but you know, we came right back down again, and we are even pushing this even further towards downside. So bearish moves stronger than bullish moves, unfortunately, and right now it is pushing us towards downside. Oh my god, this was actually 10 minutes video. That said, I don't have anything else. It's bearish. Hope, no. no hope. Still looking for downside. When something changes, I will tell you about that, but right now nothing changes. Everything is still looking for more downside. Right now I'm looking for this target around 29,000, maybe even 28.7. Whether we're gonna hit that or not depends. Maybe there's some kind of, you know, some kind of a falling wedge up here that's actually, you know, giving us some kind of hopium or something like that. I don't know. Maybe something like this up here, right? And you know, that might be it. Now the thing about falling wedges and rising wedges, if you break, you know, they often break towards upside, but in strong bearish scenarios like we are in right now, there is a good probability you're gonna break towards downside. If you do that, you are expecting, you know, these kind of levels of dumps, guys. These kind of levels dumps, I mean, that means very, very impulsive moves towards downside, right? When that happens, we're gonna tell you. Right now, you know, nothing is there. Nothing is there. Take care, guys. Have a nice Sunday. You know, I'm gonna see you tomorrow or tonight. Depends. Bye bye.